Marco. Marco.
Nice. Can you guys hear me good? We sound good?
Let's go.
The other day there was a past couple streams. Every time I restart my computer for an update or something, my microphone comes back sounding hot the next time. Let me see how I sound here. I'm gonna play it back. Hold on, you're gonna hear it. Nice. Can you guys hear me good? I fixed it. Yay, it sounds great. Yay. Yay, he fixed it. He fixed it. Yes.
Yeehaw, it's bull wrangling time.
Well, how is everyone? How are we? Thumbs up the ting.
Thumbs up the team.
Click like on the video. That's all it means. That's all it takes. How much does it cost? It's free. How long does it take? 0.1 second. Why aren't you doing it? I'll never know. Anyways, we are here, and it's Saturday, and I'm streaming earlier than usual, and tell you what, if I like it, if I like it, I might just have to keep it this way, because the weekends are, well, actually, it's not really that big of a deal right now, but usually my nieces are always trying to hang out with me on Friday, because Friday night's when they like watch a movie, and you know, it's the weekend for them. And coincidentally, I stream Friday and Saturday night. So between all the stuff I have to do during the daytime and like, you know, going to the gym and working on stuff at home and whatever I need to be doing, the amount of time, I don't know, it just never ends up working out, me linking up with them on Friday or Saturday. So it's made me think, oh, maybe I should change the time that I stream so I don't end so late, or maybe I should change it to a different day or something like that. But it's about to be summer break for them anyways, so let's not worry about it right now. I realized that my manifesting talk yesterday, while it was, of course, you know, the right thing to do according to every MLM guru who we you know, encounter, I think I might have been reaching too high with my proclamation that I was going to make $1,000 on stream last night. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to limit my beliefs a little bit, and I'm going to manifest right now that I will make $500 on tonight's stream. Hey, listen, man.
Billions and billions.
Marco. Fuck yeah. Come on, Marco. Fuck yeah, you stupid fucking asshole.
So it could happen. It could happen, and you could be the one. What's up, everybody? We need somebody need to give some memberships too, because there's some holes in the chat. There's some gray going on in the chat. There's some gray. I like it. I like that green. I like seeing that green. What up? You got LOL in the intro saying "Show yourself, Marco. We know you're there." Subspecs, Panda, Alex FPV, Jared, Meek. Look at all these mods that are in here. All the members. What up? What up? What up? So today we're gonna look at Dexter Yager, and we're gonna talk about Scott Johnson's favorite topic, the Amway tool scam.
Let's go.
So Dexter Yager is talked about at length in Robert's book, Ponzinomics. You guys know I talk about Ponzinomics all the time. It is the Bible, in my opinion, for MLM-related content. I think everyone has to read that book. That is mandatory cult reading material or listening material, Ponzinomics. The way they listen to tapes, y'all better be listening to that audiobook of Ponzinomics. And so Ponzinomics talks about Dexter Yager at length and the inception of the tool scam, which was adopted to a varying level, to varying degrees by other MLM companies who began to sell their own, you know, books and tapes and VHS tapes and different materials that were used to train the mindsets of the downlines in whichever MLM company. So Dexter Yager became the... Thank you, Beyond. Yes, welcome to the cult. Welcome back in. You're back in just when I think I'm out. They pull me back in. What's up, NPaz? What up, Daisy B? What up, all you guys? So let me know if you like this time, by the way, this time that I'm streaming at. So Dexter Yager was the first one to invent this tools business. And it got so big that the higher-ups at Amway actually tried to intervene, and it created like friction within Amway between the top distributors who were responsible for generating all of this traffic and dollars, exchanged through Amway, and the execs who felt like they were being cut out because all this stuff was being sold by the leaders like Dexter Yager, and they weren't getting a cut of it. This is detailed really, really well in a documentary. I don't even know if you would call it a documentary, but it is a piece, a YouTube video. Glenn talked about this guy, Sean Munger. This is him. I'm going to put give Sean Munger a little shout out here. So Sean, he's got 2K subscribers. So if you want to subscribe to Sean Munger, definitely holla at your boy. How can I get rid of this? Sean Munger is a historian, and he has a video about Amway. Let me see if I could find it. I know it's on here somewhere. Zoom out. Amway. He did a really, really good job, and he goes over the friction that here we go. It's called The Tools Cult, History of the Amway Motivational Tape Scam. And I guess he has another extras one, Amway Tools Cult Scam, extras and commentary. I should add this to my watch later because I haven't seen that one. And the first thing I see when I hover over it is a preview of Ponzinomics, so perhaps that would be good material for me to go over. So definitely recommend Sean Munger's video about the Amway tool scam. Today what we're going to watch is a clip, the full version of an interview that I played a clip of, I think it was last stream, of Dexter and his wife. What's her name? She has a weird name. It's like Dottie or Patty or something like that. Dexter Yager. His wife's name is... Hold on. Dexter Yager wife. Birdie. Is it her real name? Who knows? Is it a made-up name? Who knows? Nickname? Who knows? So we're going to watch the full... I guess this is from 60 Minutes. So it's old. Dexter Yager passed away in 2019. But we can learn much from his time. From his example. What's up, everybody in the chat? 10 a.m. in Sydney. Goodness gracious. What is that? Oh, that's the Obama one. Wow, my eyesight's getting worse in my old age. Obama. What up, Abbasin? Appreciate you. Jimmy likes this streaming time more. Yep. I think this is a good time. Yep. Uh-oh.
My goon tax. And also, middle finger Scott. I hope Bad Dog beats that ass partying face.
Yeah, we got to go over that. The Bad Dog... Oh, they're not live yet. They're probably going to go live in a few minutes. We might have to check in on that, too, because I don't think this video will take us that long to get through, and we'll have to check in on Bad Dog versus Scott and Peter, because I guess he's finally going on Losing Fortunes Radio, so we'll actually have something to react to from them, which it feels like it's been a long time, but I love that. All right. Uh-oh, Alex Ant won.
Usually replay gang, but managed to drop a bag.
Wow.
Keep doing what you're doing, my G. Also OBAMNA.
Thank you. Damn, thank you, Alex. That was a big bag. That was a big 40. That's 410 sheets right there. Oh, I'm gonna scratch my back in a weird spot. Yes. Reagan, what up? Joey K, what up? Daisy's sick. And so is Lolly H. Good thing I'm healing everybody. Good thing I'm healing everyone.
Marco!
With my positive energy and positive mindset. All right. Here we go, y'all. Here we go, yo. What's the scenario? All right. Here it is.
Did you ever think it was going to be this good, Birdie?
No, I didn't. I really didn't know what to think it was going to be like.
What do you mean?
Well, I didn't understand business, and I didn't think this was too businesslike. And
True.
I didn't really know what to think in those days because I didn't really know much about life.
You were a baby, the baby of 16 children in Rome, New York.
Yes.
Your dad did what for a living?
He worked at Revere Copper and Brass, a mill in Rome.
So he had to really keep cracking to take care of 16 children.
Well, he started working there when I was about 3, so up until then he was a farmer and different things.
How in the world? Now, you have 7 children.
We have 7.
7 children between you.
Yeah, Losing Fortunes radio quality. We had to do it. We had to do it in honor of Scott talking about the Amway tool scam all the time. We had to honor him with some LFR quality video.
Did it ever occur to you,
What up, Mars?
Bertie, Dexter, did it ever occur to you that you were going to wind up multimillionaires and from Amway?
Not really. Back when I was about 12 years old, I used to dream about being rich someday, and I sort of had that goal of what could happen. But when I got in this business, I was looking for freedom. I wanted to have my own business, and that was more important than having wealth. I think wealth is a natural outgrow of committing yourself to something that you enjoy doing.
You know, that sounds like Amway literature. But I can't believe that you're... Come on, Bertie. Didn't the two of you, late at night, 16, 17 years ago when you started with Amway, didn't you say, hey, we want to be rich?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true. The sound quality is better than Losing Fortunes radio is, even in 2023. Amazing. What up, Heather?
That's why we...
You guys, thumbs up the stream. 30 of y'all haven't done it. 30 of y'all haven't clicked like. What on earth is going on? You guys feeling okay? Come on now.
dreamed and everything else, and I used to dream as a teenager of being rich, but at that time I didn't know what rich was. Rich was having a little bit more than what we had.
$25,000 a year at that time we would have been millionaires in our own mind.
Well, of course. I remember going to college. This was little more than 40 years ago. I used to think that $10,000 a year, now that was really
Rich.
security.
Yeah, that's right.
And the richer you get,
The more that you can see and the more that you know you're not rich.
Mm-hmm.
I think, it depends on what world you're looking from. Back when I was dead broke, making $95 a week, if I made $8,000 that year, I would have been rich.
sure.
And I remember back in the early days when we first got into business, and Rich DeVos came into a big function. And he got up there and he said, "You're never going to get rich in Amway. You'll make some good money, but you're never going to get rich in Amway." And I sat there and I said, "How can he say that, man? If I make just a little bit more than what I'm making now, I'll be rich." And I was looking around at everybody in the business to me was rich.
Well, why did he say that? I mean, Rich DeVos is the gospel singer of Amway. He and Jay Van Andel are the two big fellas.
Rich and Jay have always been very conservative, and they have always played down the potential because they want to make sure that nobody out in the field is selling it for something it isn't.
You once said, Dexter, "I don't have to get up in the morning to go to work." Can you imagine such a disgusting word in our vocabulary as work?
I think so many people, hate their work. And I don't really feel I work. I do what I like to do. And, Abe Lincoln said many years ago, man's just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. And I think so many people work so hard today to make themselves hate their work, like they're doing the thing they dislike. And I think that's why we got today so many ulcers and so many problems. Instead of making up your mind, I'm going to find something good in what I do, and I'm going to enjoy it.
But somebody's got to do the work. Not everybody can enjoy, not everybody can join Amway. Then there'll be nobody else to sell to.
Well, it's like my driver. Okay, I've got a coach. I travel around the country, and I've got a driver.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in the business, and he's going to be a direct someday. And I just told him, I said, "Look, you're in training to be where I'm at." And I never had a chance to be a driver, so I know how a driver should be, and work for somebody else in that capacity. I said, "But you're learning how to have your own driver someday." So he enjoys what he's doing. Everybody has to do something. But the one thing we got to learn to do is to enjoy what we're doing, and if we don't, get out of it and do something else.
I like how he didn't really answer the question. What up to, I couldn't even try to pronounce this name in the chat, but There's a gentleman in the chat says, first time catching a live. Big fan, Marco. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I cannot pronounce your name if I had a gun to my head, so appreciate you.
What does JOB mean in Amway?
JOB is a phrase that I coined. I called it, I used to be the jackass of the boss. And that's where I used to have jobs that I didn't like. And I'd go to work, and the boss would just come in the room, and I used to have a very poor self-image. A very poor self-image. The boss would walk.
He's sort of sugarcoating it and softening the intensity of his words now, saying like, oh, it depends, and in my case I was the jackass of the boss. But in every MLM presentation I've ever seen, they use these terms as blanket terms to describe everybody's career, everybody's job. Everyone who has a job is a slave. Every person who, even the boss of the company, is the slave master, which is sort of its own paradox too. It's like, okay, if I have a job, I'm a slave. But what if I own the business and I still go into work and I'm like in a, I'm at the top position? Like even the CEO of a company, they are appointed by the shareholders of a company. So that is their job. They have a job. Even the CEO can't just chill at home all day. They have to work. So is the CEO, like, is Bob Iger the highest paid CEO in the world of Disney? Is he a slave? He has a job. Is the lead animator of whatever big Marvel movie that's coming out, who gets paid, hundreds of thousands of dollars, is he a slave? Are like big executives slaves? Makes me wonder.
Walk in the room, and I'd start trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. And I remember one time when I was at Sears Roebuck, the boss came up and he stood there like this and he was looking at me, and I had this big pile of power saws. And I was carrying them over to stockroom, and he got me so nervous I just dropped them. And then I fumbled one thing after another thing and I could not do anything right. And the longer he stood there, the more stupid I was.
Flip the nothing burger. Someone's got to flip the burgers, dumbass. Exactly. Give him hell, bad dog. Kill him. Get him.
And that's because I had a job.
Bring a book. They like to talk a lot. Hilarious. Yeah, I'll be amazed if he gets one word in. Not one word, but I'll be amazed if he gets a decent amount of words in. I want to throttle my boss every day, says Mars Kohler. Doesn't make me love the actual work itself less. It's kind of a sweet message in that violent statement. As an animator, we don't make that kind of money. Pretend what I said was true and then apply it. You know what I mean? JOBS. Jealous of bigger salaries. Yeah. Keep making it up. Jackass of the boss. Journey of the broke. Just over broke. Fuck. Okay, maybe animation was a bad example. Yeah, he gave a bad example. All these guys have a history of being criminals or not succeeding in their jobs and then turning to scamming. In my experience, that is true. Dexter Yager is not just the biggest con artist in MLM history. He's also one of the biggest con artists in American history. Thank you. That channel who's commenting right now, MLM is fraud. That's Glenn. So Glenn, I might have to patch you in when we're done reacting to this video and see what you think, or we'll have to do it another time, because Bad Dog Sports is going on Building Fortunes Radio right away, and I'm sure they're going to have some interesting stuff to say too. All right, here we go.
And I didn't have a confidence in me. And as you get doing something you love, and you really enjoy it, then you feel more comfortable with it, and you're better at it, and the outside sources don't bother you as much.
Spec says Marco is a zygote for YouTube. I don't know what that means, but I support all the zygotes out there. Love is love, man. I don't care. I don't care what you are.
It's a stinking thinker.
Stinking thinking. I tell people, a lot of people treat their head like a garbage.
And thumbs up the stream, because we got 105 people, but only 74 likes, and that means 30 of you are paid assassins.
Garbage can with a hairy lid. And they got stinking thinking. And a lot of people do. See, they see the worst of everything. They're always trying to make everything the worst side they can. And you got to make it the best side.
What up, Tretino? What up, Ronald?
A stinking life. You got to make it a sweet smell of success, wherever we are. People say, what's success? Doing better than what we're doing today.
You say that nobody has failed in Amway.
No, people quit.
A lot of people quit.
A lot of people quit. A lot of people get in.
Maybe 3 out of 4 quit in the course of a year.
I only know about my own facts. We've sponsored, Bertie and I, roughly about 50 people, and about 40 of them are still in. So those are the only facts that I can go on.
But
now,
you know the statistics that you hear elsewhere.
But what about the people below those 50 or those 40? I can only go off my own facts is another way of saying that you're not going off of facts. You're going off of your own personal experience. And we've learned, if we've learned anything from these MLM videos, it's that the personal experiences of the people at the top of these MLM companies is nothing to, is not to be considered, because all those people who have deceived their way to the top, deceived their way into the money that they lied to everyone else about being there, they are there not only because they lied and continue to lie, but for them, their perception of reality is that the income opportunity is real. But I talked about this yesterday. Is the income opportunity real, or is the wealth that you have a result of you telling people the income opportunity is real, which then gave you the income? And it's sort of this like self-fulfilling prophecy of deception. So, yeah, my own facts. You love it. I remember there was what's the lady? I forget her name. Was it not Kellyanne Conway, the Trump spokeswoman? I remember a couple of years ago, she was being pressed by a reporter about saying shit that was false, and she's like, yeah, we used alternative facts. You know, just, yeah, there you go, NPAS. This is the original alternative facts guy. Trust me, bro, is my credentials. Yeah, somebody said it yesterday too. We did an investigation of our company, and we determined everything is above board. No one's scamming.
You're poor. Can you give me an Obama?
Thank you. Obama. Thank you, Killikeen. I appreciate you. We are manifesting today, you guys. We are manifesting $500 in donos, and I feel it. I feel it coming. I feel it. Zygoted. Yep, so true. Zygote is a stem cell. Respect. All right. Why does he look like he's keeping her on a leash so she doesn't take her chance to make a public escape on film? Come on, Mars. Don't be so negative. That's stinking thinking, Mars. That is a negative. You're a negative Nancy. Another word salad. Trust me, bro. Love it.
That maybe 1 in 80,000 people make more than just a minimum living out of Amway.
Those facts I don't know. I know that the facts are that the majority of the ones that I work with make it.
Slippery as an eel.
And that has something to do with you, do you think?
That's because I love them. That's because I really love them.
Because I really love that bag that they provide me. That's why.
They're like my kids.
Wow.
And when you say the majority of the people that you sponsor make it,
Yes.
make what?
Whatever they want out of the business.
So frustrating. How much do the people below you make? To the nearest tens of 10,000. Whatever they want to make. Okay. Does anyone fail? No one fails. People only quit. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. So how could you fail? Speaking in riddles.
It's always the next goal is the next achievement. See, like when I got into business, I wanted to be a direct. Well, I was a direct in 60 days. But after I was a direct for a while, you know, I wanted more. And it
A direct means that instead of getting your products from your sponsor, you get them direct from Amway.
from the company, and the check comes from the company instead of your sponsor. Mm-hmm. Now, I got there, and I mentally plateaued because I was mentally there for a period of time.
MLM is fraud. Glenn says, no, Dexter, my father has failed in Amway, and he has not quit after 23 years of working on Amway nonstop. Well, I already know what Dexter would say if he was alive today. He would say, well, maybe that's to do with your dad's upline. Maybe he would say something like Peter said when Glenn was on Losing Fortunes Radio. Peter said, I could sit down with your dad and have him straightened out in 5 minutes. I'm sure Dexter would have a similar attitude. Dexter would probably say, well, the people below me, they all make as much money as they want to make. So maybe it's a problem with maybe not your dad. Maybe he has stinking thinking. But if it's not a problem with your dad, maybe it's a problem with his upline. I don't know. All I know, the facts are, in my business, everyone makes money. That's what he would say.
So I stayed direct for about 3 years. And everybody that came in was passing me by. And I was just there. But I had to take a while to get my head screwed on straight because I got what I wanted out of the business up until then, and I had to get a new mental image. I had to get a new picture of what I was going for before I could start shooting for something again. I had to get my head screwed on straight.
Well, you got it screwed on straight because you make $500,000 a year out of Amway today, don't you?
Yes, we do. And I don't know exactly what I make, but I know I make a lot of money. And
but you don't sell products yourself anymore, do you?
we sell a little bit, but not a whole lot.
A little bit.
Originally, when I first got into business, I used to sell probably about $600
Dexter, back in 82 when I was making this up, literally.
a month just to our. Originally, when I first got into business, I used to sell probably about $600 a month just to our friends and stuff. And then as we got more and more busy, we had to give our customers to some of our distributors to have them take care of, because it's very important that customers are taken care of. So we had to move on to the next more important thing, and that was working with the people that we had gotten involved.
And what has been your function along the way, Bertie?
Chillin'.
Just kind of helping him and
What
doing
does that mean,
paperwork.
just kind of helping him?
Well, whatever I guess he needs to have me do that day. In the beginning, I did paperwork, and
In the beginning, when he would make stuff up, and I would be there to, nod my head and confirm that he was making it up. And then eventually I got to the point where I was making a little bit of stuff up on my own too, sort of. So whatever he needs me to make up that day, we'll make it up. And if he's making some stuff up and, he hasn't quite made it, then I'll chip in a little bit and make up a little bit of stuff too. So it's a pretty good working relationship we got. And, it's really a team effort. Because when you're making stuff up, I mean, eventually you just, you're making stuff up, and then it's like, at some point, you don't even know what to say anymore. You don't even know what to make. But then you just got to get your head screwed on straight and remember, just make up more. So just keep making it up.
had customers, and I took care of the kids, and I did mostly paperwork and answered the phone and kind of encouraged them when they'd call, or handle their little situations if it was product situations and things like that. But it grows. Your role grows as your business.
Bad Dog says, appreciate you, Bad Dog. Bad Dog says, calling them now. Now I got to wait 15 minutes. It's a fancy production, says NPAZ. Be patient. So true. Where are they now on some of these videos? Well, Dexter Yager is dead. So, but who knows where Birdie is? Birdie's probably still somewhere helping him out a little bit too. She's probably somewhere making it up still. Next stream idea, MLM guest monitored by human lie detector. That's the crazy thing is a lie detector only goes off of a baseline of honesty, right? And then it detects irregularities. That's why every polygraph test, they start out by asking the subject basic questions that are objective truths. Is the sky blue? Is your name John Smith? Whatever it is. And then they use those results to see what anomalies happen later, and that's how they determine what is not true. I believe that if you put people who defend MLMs, if you hook that, like for example, if you hook Dominic Izzo up to a lie detector,
thanks, Marco,
he would probably pass the lie detector test, even though the things he was saying were in some cases objectively untrue, and that is because he believes them. If you take the polygraph test and you are a psychopath or a sociopath, or you just have some sort of mental illness where you see the world in a way that is not true, and you say, when they ask you, is the sky blue? And you say no, because you believe it's green. Well, if you really believe it's green, the polygraph test is going to register that as a true answer because it was true to you. So I actually don't think the lie detector, this is such a deeply psychological game that they play that I don't even think a lie detector test would be of any use. But I will say, Bad Dog, talking about saying I look jacked in this shirt, I've had this shirt for like probably 4 or 5 years now, and this was always a shirt that I wore when I wanted to like wear something baggy and like it was just comfortable. I haven't worn it in quite some time because I've just been wearing my like alwaysmarcomerch.com merch items. Link is in the chat. I've just been wearing my own stuff on stream. This is the first stream in a while that I've worn a not my own merch shirt. And today after I did my shoulder workout, I put it on and I noticed a little less. This shirt used to be like this on me. The sleeve used to be like that. Like now I actually did notice. I was like, and mind you, I've had this shirt for 5 years and it's always been the same size. So no, it did not shrink in the wash. Your boy's beefing up. Your boy is beefing up, dude.
Marco!
Anyways, appreciate that though. She keeps track of the lies. Nah, that's an impossibility. Better have your cup on a string ready for the call, Bad Dog. Yeah. Are they going to make your audio quality worse? Or or is your voice going to be clear and theirs is going to be shitty? I wonder. Beyond says, like all those Herbalife top earners in 06, I would be curious to see how many of them are like Jennifer and realize they made no money at all, right? She looks super thrilled with her life. Keep making it up. Yeah. Staying direct means holding your rank of direct. Yeah, it could be the rank name. Staying direct, I actually have a theory for what staying direct means. In MLM, when you personally recruit someone right below you, they are your direct recruit. They're not in your downline. They're not second generation or third generation, meaning they're not a recruit of your recruit or a recruit of your recruit of your recruit. They're your direct recruit. And so I think what Dexter is referring to when he says staying direct, he means not having anyone under him. He is staying directly below his upline and just trying to sell product. So I think that's what he means when he's saying I was only making X amount of dollars a month selling products to friends and family when I was staying direct. Because if you're now building the downline below you, you're not just staying direct. I'm guessing that's my guess as to what that means. Dexter Yager said, when the dream is big enough, the facts don't matter. Direct quote. I love that. Love that. Solo Revenge, yes. I mean, I saw it. You DM'd me the same thing that you posted in the general chat, and I didn't feel the need to chime in because other people already gave you the sound advice that I would give you. If you're in WFG, leave. That would be my advice. Yeah, hopefully you can just cut your losses and not lose too much and just block those people. Rebecca says, based on my life experience of Amway, she probably did most of the work. That's why the wives get retired first. I actually, in this specific case, I don't think that is the case. Dexter Yager is one of the most notorious MLM figures in history. Alberta Pride with the Wolverine shirt. Yeah, y'all don't know Alberta. Alberta is where Wolverine, Jordan Peterson, and Nickelback are from. And me.
Marco!
If that isn't the dream blunt rotation, the ultimate Avengers team for whatever task you need accomplished, I don't know what is. Nickelback, Jordan Peterson, Wolverine, and Always Marco? Hello. Also, Deadpool is from Saskatchewan. All right. Have an MLM person on the stream and give them heroin, then ask them if everything is bullshit. Love that. Here we go.
Scrolls, I guess.
Now, I'm fascinated to see how many wives work very, very closely with their husbands in Amway,
Yes.
more than almost any business that I have had anything to do with or know much about.
Well, I guess that's been probably my biggest role, is helping the wives help their husbands.
In other words, you sort of evangelize for them, help them, answer their questions.
Teach them how.
We work pretty much with a husband and wife relationship. And, you know, when people talk to me about the figures of dropouts and stuff, I always look at marriage, okay?
Wow, I can't believe that. No way. You are going to see, it's crazy how the message stays the same no matter the generation. This is a scam that has been going on so so long, so many years before I was even born, and they are still saying the exact same things. Wow, I can't believe this. He's about to talk about the dropout rates. People always talk about the dropout rates of MLM, but look at marriage. X amount of couples get divorced. But am I renouncing marriage? You're going to see in my new video somebody saying exactly the same thing from an interview they did in 2021, where they are being asked about dropout rates. They say the same false equivalence, nonsense comparison. Married couples are not getting divorced because they failed to recruit 3 other married couples and advance to the 5-year anniversary bonus, who then, those 3 couples then also recruited 3 couples. It is a complete nonsense comparison, just like every other thing they will compare to. Oh, well, Walmart is like a pyramid. You have the manager and the assistant manager. Again, you do not become the manager of Walmart because you recruited 3 other assistant managers, and on and on and on. So, again, Robert Fitzpatrick's 4 characteristics of a pyramid scheme that he talks about in Ponzinomics. Endless chain recruiting model, recruiting mandate. You have to recruit in order to make a certain amount. Otherwise, it's locked. Pay to play. You have to pay to join the operation. And extreme money transfer, meaning most participants lose money so that the top can make money. Those are the 4 characteristics. Those 4 characteristics do not apply to your family, Walmart, marriage, the military, professional sports, and on and on and on, whatever things they try to compare to. Well, the military recruits. Is the military a pyramid scheme? No, the military does not win wars simply by recruiting more soldiers. They do not unlock bigger guns and bigger tanks and better war strategies and drones and shit because they're recruited. Military recruits have to go to training and actually become a soldier. They don't just rise through the ranks. You don't become a commander in the military because you had 3 generals under you or whatever the fuck. It's complete nonsense no matter where you look. And the fact that they are still saying this type of stuff is just maddening. Madness. Almost as mad as the fact that 30 of you haven't clicked like on the stream.
Thumbs up the team.
But that's a whole nother story. And Paz says, wrong. I have 4 marriages in my matrimony downline. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Marriage bringing people, buddy. Yeah. System brings the happy marriage, buddy. Yeah. Oh, my God. Ronald says, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think direct used to mean you could order products directly from the company and not have to go over to your sponsor's house. Oh, that could be it too. See, we'll never know. Wow. I don't even know what year this is from, actually. No idea. No idea. It's so wild that this is so old and nothing about their answers has changed. And no matter the MLM. So true, B. My brother in Christ, you have never met Mormons. Hilarious. Marriage isn't some business opportunity. Marriage is 100% a business opportunity. Y'all are going to be mad at me for this, but I watched I'm just quoting what I saw on TikTok, so I'm not liable for this. But I saw a TikTok where the guy, this dude was showing the top 5 richest women in the world, and all of them got their wealth from divorce. I didn't invent this. I'm just saying. But in that context, you could say that marriage is a business opportunity for some. Dexter will mention real estate agencies too. And married, here we go, Rebecca. And married couples are not getting divorced at a higher rate because people don't want to work hard anymore. It's because divorce is more available to those than it used to be. That's true as well. There's also a lot of it's easier to leave your problems behind in a speed dating culture where you could just go on Tinder or something and find somebody new. So I think that incentivizes people to not really work through their issues as well. Let's see. When C. Lee says, I asked a recruiter how it would make sense to order 1 toothpaste. He said I'd need to plan ahead for a lousy toothpaste. Nice. Lurking and clicked. Believable cult. And for some of those, it probably was a business opportunity. Could be. The wealth gap, am I right? Hey, y'all are going to get me double canceled. Y'all are going to get me double canceled if we start talking about third wave feminism and, you know, other stuff as well. Y'all going to get me canceled. Y'all going to get me canceled. I just become completely radicalized, and I do a stream called The Pink Tax is a Myth. And it's like me wearing my full Trump gear in the thumbnail, just to bait people into being mad. Yeah, y'all trying to get me in trouble. Y'all are trying to get me in trouble. I said Trump was a good public speaker, and I've been permanently canceled for it by people who I'm supposed to be united with. Rather, people who are supposed to be united with me. I got canceled by people that I'm way bigger than. People who had like 400 followers, 1,000 followers. I was like reaching down to be like, let's work together. Motherfuckers canceled me. Can't even make this shit up. Oh my goodness. I just think it's funny. All right, here we go.
People talk to me about the figures of dropouts and stuff. I always look at marriage, okay? They always tell us in the first 5 years, 50% of the marriages fail. And you know, yet Bertie and I refuse to let ours fail. Not that our marriage hasn't been through hard times. If you're married 25 years, you're going to go through the ups and downs.
I'm going to be saying, you know, all that stuff about but not a damn word, but not a word about a product. How come?
Well, the products, we all use the products. We become experts in personal use.
Oh, what's the question?
But
You're going to go through the ups and downs.
I'm going to be saying, you know, all that stuff about but not a damn word, but not a word about a product. How come?
Right, okay, talking about how you talk all this shit about mindset and business and self-improvement and stinking thinking and all this shit, but never talk about the product.
Well, the products, we all use the products. We become experts in personal use. You don't have to explain our products to people because everybody uses them. And Amway does a fabulous job in the ammograms and in every aspect on the products.
The nanobots, this is just like what we saw yesterday with Jay Noland being like, oh, everybody already drinks coffee every day. Dexter is saying that everybody already uses cleaning products. Everybody already has toothpaste, whatever the Amway shit they were selling at the time. So, you know, this is the same thing. Every MLM, you've already seen this. You've already seen this. My ACN video, Nathan, would I ever have to remind you not to use your cell phone? Would I ever have to tell you to pay the heating bill? Come on, you're... Wow, dude, this could really drive you crazy. I will go crazy one day. And by the way, I would never kill myself. I have to say that before this new video comes out, and I already know how I'm going to die. I'm going to see a bright flash of light and then nothing. That's how I forecast that I'm going to die. So I'm just saying that now. I would never kill myself.
In other words, these people are all Amway people out there, so you don't have to tell them how good the things are?
Right, right.
Another thing, too, this was a celebration of what the business either had done for people or was going to do for people. And it was just kind of a celebration weekend, and they just came to learn some techniques, a few little things, and get their dream back because maybe the last 3 or 4 months some people had tried to steal it. And it's kind of a thing where they just come together to renew their dreams. And
what do you mean in the past few months?
Are these two still married? Well, he's dead. But I do think they stayed married. I don't know.
Perhaps somebody had tried to steal their dream, Bertie.
Well, people will...
In the past few months, perhaps somebody had tried to steal their dream, Bertie.
Dreams and
what do you mean in the past few months, perhaps somebody had tried to steal their dream, Bertie?
Well, people will try to steal people's dreams. Because we had it a lot when we were building this business. People would try to steal our dreams. My family tried. They didn't know.
Let's all invest small bags to help this channel grow and save
now.
other people big bags. Hashtag Slumdog Raging Alcoholic.
Come on now.
Billions
Thank
and
you
billions.
for that, Mr. Dollywall. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's bag it up. Bag it up. It's really copy-paste for generations, yeah. Yeah. Did Marco just threaten to nuke us? No.
No, they were trying, but they did. They said little things like, well, do you have to eat, live, and sleep this business? And at the time they said it, I didn't know. And so I didn't know what to say, and I'd think about it, and it really, those little things steal your dream if you're not strong enough.
What?
Sleep this business, but they did. They said little things like, well, do you have to eat, live, and sleep this business? And at the time they said it, I...
Totally reasonable thing to say. A job, I mean, There has to be some semblance of work-life balance. Even Dwayne Johnson, even Tom Cruise, even Jeff Bezos. Think of the busiest, most important people you can think of. Even they have to take time to fucking turn off and chill sometimes. Even The Rock has a cheat meal. Okay? So, totally valid thing for Birdie's family to say to her. And she's saying, that's dream stealing. Stinking thinking.
I didn't know. And so I didn't know what to say, and I'd think about it, and it really, those little things steal your dream if you're not strong enough to combat it.
Yeah, but there are lots of people out there, I'm sure.
I like how, yeah, I agree with Glenn in the chat. This interviewer is going so light on them. Like, he's asking the first question about the turnover rate, for example, or I guess Dexter offered that one up on his own. Then he uses his little logical fallacy to answer, and then that's it. There's no pushback. There's no further whatever. And in my experience, the Dominic Izzo debate stream is the prime example of this, I think, that you will find anywhere on the internet between an anti-MLM and a pro-MLM person. Anytime you do defeat that very surface level, well, half of marriages fail, anytime you explain, like I just did, about how, well, married couples aren't recruiting other married couples and you're not paying for the opportunity to become a married couple by being recruited by a married couple above you, and on and on. Once you explain why their explanation or their answer or their deflection is exactly that, it's bullshit. Once you explain that, they won't actually stop and take a moment and go, huh, okay, watch the Dominic Izzo debate again. If you can stomach it. He would just go, oh, okay, so then we have to talk about, and then they'll just change the subject. Same thing with my debate with Alejandro Aguilar from PHP. Okay, so he would say, oh, 50% of marriages fail, or something like that. And I would say, well, that's actually complete bullshit because X, Y, and Z. And they'll go, okay, so now what we need to talk about is, and they don't actually even let it marinate, which is why there's a moment in the Alejandro debate where I say, just stop and say, let's both of us say nothing for 10 seconds because I want that to marinate. And we did. We had a little moment of silence. And in that, it's like he couldn't even sit still. He was like, oh, you could tell. It's like, damn, bro. Damn. Completely brainwashed. I had a call with a guy the other day, too, which I should have recorded. I don't know why I didn't record it, or, I'm sure we'll say the same things again on a live stream if he agrees to come on. But I was talking to this guy from an insurance-based MLM company, and there was moments where he would, I would stump him. Like, I would say, he said to me at one point, everything is multi-level, right? And I explained to him, I said, okay, give me an example. I let him control the narrative. That way I wasn't setting him up, I let him pick the thing, and then I dismantled it. I said, okay, give me an example. And so, of course, it's Walmart or McDonald's or whatever. And I explain, well, that's actually not true because X, Y, and Z. And there's just little moments where I'm listening on the phone and he's just like, there's a little moment where I just hear, because he's just stumped. He's just laughing uncomfortably to fill the silence because he doesn't actually know what to say. Incredible. You know what else is incredible? New merch order from alwaysmarcomerch.com. Who is it? Kristen! Thank you, Kristen. Appreciate you. All right. We love that. We love that alwaysmarcomerch.com, don't we? Yes, sir. Where is it? Where's the link? There it is. All right. Here we go. Marco, I need to make a pickup. Yeah. I wish the interviewer would go back with him, but again, he would just deflect or make a personal attack or something, This is not an interview. It's a game of softball. This is a game of catch, All right.
Sure, who haven't up to now made very much, if anything, out of Amway. What do you tell them when month after month, year after year, they would like to, but somehow they can't?
It's not that they can't. It's that you've got to keep telling them you can do it. You got to keep giving people faith over and over. It's like training a star athlete.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors.
At some point, the madness has to stop. It's like training a star athlete. Well, no, it's not like training a star athlete, because sports is one of those things. Another great false equivalence that I love when I love to hear them say, if you are 4'5" or 5'0" or even 5'5", I'm sorry, you are not going to be in the NBA. And it is completely besides the point how hard you work, how committed you are, how much you dream basketball. It doesn't matter. You are not going to be in the NBA if you are 5'0". You just are not. You just are not. And that is a more apt comparison if you want to try to compare professional sports to MLM. Actually, you know what would be an even more accurate comparison? Saying you wanted to be in the NBA, but you had no legs. That is how stacked against people the system, the plan is. This proven system for wealth and success is designed for you to lose money. It's working exactly as it's supposed to work when that outcome happens, which 99.x% of the time, every single year, that is what's happening. So it is not like professional sports. They give this illusion. Well, you know, professional sports, those people have to work really hard, and, you know, there's millions of kids that want to be in the NBA, but unfortunately only a small percentage of them are going to make it. How is that any different? Well, because not every person is being told, oh, yeah, you know, come join the NBA. The NBA isn't out here trying to get everybody and their dog to sign up and then telling them, oh, well, you just didn't work hard enough. No, there is actually standards. There is actually criteria you have to meet in order to be in the NBA. MLM doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't matter what your age is. Doesn't matter what your abilities are, what your skills are. You could even be disabled. We've seen this in previous videos of mine where they had, I'm not going to say the company, but in one of my videos, it shows that one of the recruiters had a completely quadriplegic woman in her downline and was like posting Instagram videos and stories of that woman being like, look, if she can do it, anyone can do it. And this poor woman who was wheelchair bound, had no use of her hands or legs, and had to use like a stylus in her mouth to operate her phone in order to run the business. And it's like, damn, these people will go to any depth. You will not see the NBA doing that. The NBA is not telling some quadriplegic person, you just gotta believe, you know? I bet Scott has his skull in a box in his garage. Oh, Dexter Yager's skull, for sure. Scott Johnson probably watches this video before he goes to bed every night, you know? I thought he was going to say they have a broke mindset. Well, we're only halfway through. He could. Just looked him up. He's from a small town about 20 minutes away from me. Very odd. Crazy. Reagan says, that's me and I'm 5'5" and going pro. Well, beyond. It isn't the first time I've heard it. Oh, damn it, Janet. I haven't seen that. Evil Bob Ross. It's why my 5'1" self did gymnastics. MLM. Marco lacks mindset. Marco lost money. Yeah. He sits it next to him when he does his radio shows, no doubt.
If a person makes up their mind they're going to make it, and they'll hang in there long enough, they're going to make it. They may, you know, like if you're training that athlete, he may break a finger, break a leg, he'll take a bad fall, he'll do this and that, but you got to help them get back up on their feet, and you got to do it again and again. When I was a kid, I lived in Rome, New York, and I lived at the end of the runway, and they had all these GIs training to be pilots, and every time a plane would come down, automatically the sky within hours would be full of planes because they made all the pilots go back up and fly again because they had to get over that fear of that accident. And immediately they'd get everybody in the air. And that's the thing that
every time a plane came down and crashed.
Right. Every time there was a crash and somebody got killed, they'd automatically take all the pilots and put them in the air instantly so that they would get over the fear. If they waited, the longer it was before they went up again, the less the odds were they'd get them up. And that's the same thing here.
Wow, he managed to compare it to professional sports and the military in one little blurb. That's amazing.
People are going to fall and they're going to stumble. See, most people haven't ever been in sales and been involved in people. And people are fantastic, but some people can hurt. Some people can come and steal your dreams, like Bertie says. And
Beyond, add Dexter Yager's ghost to the fanfic as like sort of an Obi-Wan ghost from Star Wars type of character.
I wrote a book, Don't Let Anybody Steal Your Dreams, simply due to the fact that's a one challenge most people have to conquer. When we came south, when we decided to move south, people started telling us it's full of cockroaches, you won't like it, the sun, this. We love it, but they tried to take away that dream. When I was a little kid, my dad wanted to buy a hotel in Myrtle Beach. And him and my uncle was a carpenter, my dad was a plumber, and they had this big dream of buying this hotel. And they went back to the family to talk to them. They were going to raise money. And the rumors were out with the hotel sinking, and the hotel was burned or was torn down a couple years ago. It never sank in the ocean. But all those rumors are out there. Every time we try a new venture, if you know you were going to become the world bowling champion, and I see this. I speak in high schools with the kids. I just love kids, and sometimes I don't know when to stop talking. They take.
I hope that's not true that he spoke in high schools.
Me in sometimes 45 minutes and it's 3 hours, but kids come up to me and tell me, well, I want to be a runner, and my mom and dad don't understand. And I have to sit down and say, just keep loving them and keep doing what you got to do, and explain to them that you want to do this, but you submit to them and you respect them. If you respect them, they'll respect your wishes.
Yeah, I must say, you're talking about submitting
Jesus
to people.
spoke, most of the time he spoke was about money.
Oh?
Oh?
He gave many
true.
business.
Exactly my reaction. Every time Jesus spoke, it was mostly about money.
Principles. I read a book many years ago, In His Steps, and none of us are perfect.
How many books does this motherfucker have? Don't Let Anyone Steal Your Dream, Stinkin' Thinkin'. He has one called Millionaire Mindset, In His Steps. I can't believe it.
Okay, and I don't try to be. Such as a lot of people don't understand Christianity today. A lot of times you get a battle between the Christians and the Jews, and there should never be. When I became a Christian, I got accepted into a Jewish family because Jesus was a Jew. And so I love the Jews.
Jesus over brokenness. I like how now he's grandstanding using religion, which is also something we see them do. Ray Higdon, with his horrible, horrible cult trauma-dumping reality show, is now an evangelical, preacher who talks about Jesus in his YouTube videos and social media. It's fucking insane.
If it wasn't for the Jews, I wouldn't have a Jesus. And a lot of people don't understand what Christianity and the love of the fellow man is all about. I don't have to like things that people do, but I love them. If somebody does something dirty to me, I still got to love them, because they don't do things on purpose. They do things because they got a problem.
I see overtones of religion in Amway.
In my Amway. Not everybody's Amway. Everybody has their own Amway.
Well, the Amway that I've been hearing about for the past 48 hours here in Charlotte, North Carolina, there's been a fair amount of talk that has religious overtones.
Well, yes, that's me. I'm a Christian, and I don't hide it. And a lot of people come up to me and they'll say,
he's white-knuckling her hands again, yeah. Anyone who says they love the Jews does not. What's that thing? I always forget this quote. You don't need religion to have a moral compass, but you need religion to hide the fact that you don't have one, something like that.
Dexter, you're trying to use God, aren't you? I say, well, the Bible tells us to pray and to make God part of our everyday life. And yes, I want to use God to benefit other people. I want them to see him and me. That's what I'm supposed to be as a Christian. I'm supposed to be somebody here that's productive and loving my fellow man. Now, as far as what the truth is, sometimes because of my Christian witness, I turn people...
Yeah, okay. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God. Yeah.
Well, often it costs me a lot of business. But I won't give up my faith and my stand no more than those Jews in Germany denied that they were Jews. They made a stand that they were Jews, and they died for it.
What's actually more deplorable? Jay Noland trying to say that when the FTC sued him in 2020, when he went, hands up, don't shoot, they're trying to lynch me, it's racism. I was thinking about that more today. In the court order that we read, the actual summary of the allegations from the FTC, not even allegations, the charges from the FTC to Jay Noland, they named 3 people, Jay and his 2 white co-conspirators. So how is it racism when 2 of the 3 people who were sued were white? More white people were sued in this equation than people of color. But for him, it was racism. What's more deplorable? Him using like police violence against black people and the whole Black Lives Matter thing as his way of like, as his shield for not taking accountability for his actions, or Dexter comparing his righteous Amway quest to the Holocaust. You can't even fucking make this up. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. I couldn't, if Stephen King sat me down at a typewriter and said, I need you to write down the most disgusting, deplorable piece of shit character you could think of. If Darman came and said, Marco, I need you to write a villain for my new sketch, I couldn't even write the type of shit that these people say. And they say it so dead ass, really believing it. Who's worse, you know?
And no more than those Jews in Germany denied that they were Jews. They made a stand that they were Jews, and they died for it. And I died for my faith.
And I see obviously a lot of anti-communism, a lot of...
Yes, true Americanism.
True free enterprise.
We believe that America is the greatest country in the world, and too many of us sell it short. It's not perfect, like we're not perfect, but it is the only hope of the free world.
That time Jesus saw all the merchants in the temple and said, keep it up, boys. Yeah, lack of nuance, incredible.
World. And we've got to keep the free enterprise system alive, because that's what made America great. It's the people. And Amway's the people. America's just land and dirt and rivers and trees, but it's a people that makes America better and greater than all the other nations in the world. And that's the same thing with Amway. It's the people.
You know, one thing that I didn't hear a word about during this entire 48 hours, I don't think I heard a word about an Amway product. I heard about people and love and Christianity and Judaism and patriotism and anti-communism, but I didn't hear a word about soul.
Thank you. Well, they're just going to cut it?
You're talking about submitting to people. I get women have a very important part to play in Amway.
Yes.
But it's always, it seems, 2 steps behind the fellow.
Well, yes and no.
Well, the Bible says, watch.
A man needs to be head of the home to feel like a man. And he's got to rule and run. But a real man, he wants to go out and conquer and achieve for the gal that he loves. He wants to go slay the dragons for his princess. And my achievement, you know, a lot of it, the world can say whatever they want, but this gal's my queen, and I want to conquer the world for her.
So you make your $500,000 out of Amway each year and you let her spend it?
Well, she gets what she wants.
Final question, I think. 10,000 people, let's say, came here this weekend.
Yes, roughly, I guess.
Okay. They had to pay admission?
They had to pay to come in.
How much each night?
It was a package deal, and it's $15 per head to come in for the weekend.
So 10,000 times 15 is $150,000 gross.
Something like that.
And then you sell them all kinds of tapes.
No,
and
we don't.
records?
We don't sell them anything. We allow other people. For an example, Sammy Hall comes in and the Golds come in, and they entertain, and they got T-shirts and music and everything, and they make money there this weekend from selling that stuff. But these guys are every week during the day, they're in a losing ministry in the schools fighting the dope problems and everything else.
He's completely lying here. This is a complete lie. Dexter Yager himself was the tool scam king. So he is absolutely selling those shirts and tapes and VHS tapes, and he absolutely was making money off those.
Else. And whatever profit they make.
Also, he's lying about the price for sure. Glenn says, to watch Dexter Yager in the 2000s was over $200 a ticket. They don't want to talk about products because the products are so overpriced. Glenn also had another comment that I want to, yeah, totally. A European cutie uses the sunken place emoji. I don't even think, this guy isn't even in the sunken place. He invented the sunken place, you know. Actually, that's not true either. He didn't invent this model. This MLM model is almost 100 years old. Go read Ponzinomics, you'll understand. There was another comment from Glenn I wanted to read. Let's see if I can scroll back and find it. Here it is. My father thinks that Dexter is the most inspirational man who ever lived. That is so heartbreaking. Glenn also says this is actually tame for Dexter comparing to the Holocaust and stuff. The things he said at functions and in his tapes were way more outrageous. And after this, we're actually going to listen to another Dexter Yager video called, this is Glenn, you know what I'm talking about. The R Word My Family video. This is low quality audio, and I haven't listened to this yet, but he's saying basically if you leave Amway, you can never come back. I will not let you R word my family. So as though the Holocaust wasn't enough, and I'm guessing this is where Scott Johnson got his R word analogy from when he was talking about his Amway experience. Yeah, Dexter Yager, we're going to listen to this afterwards. So
we allow those people to come in and make whatever profit they can make to support their ministries because we believe in those ministries and those are causes.
But even that $150,000 for the weekend, don't you make some money out of that yourselves?
Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. Depends on the show and the expenses. And we don't go into it as a profit-making venture. We go into it as something that's needed. The first one I had, I was made $25,000 for the whole year in my business. And the first function I had, it cost me $5,000. I went in the whole $5,000. But it was worth it because, you know, you're putting it all on the line for one weekend. One weekend a year, you're putting it all on the line. So you try to do the best. And you want to eat, live, and sleep. And sometimes, you know, I've gone to 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning because you're just trying to give them that extra ounce that they can get out there and make it, you know, so to go for it.
It's quite a show. It's apparent, Dexter, that you're her hero. Do you have any?
Yes, I have a lot of heroes. Clean Americans. Guys like Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel.
The worst people you could say. I've got a lot of heroes. True American guys. Adolf Hitler, Ted Bundy. Jay Van Andel and Rich DeVos, the inventors of Amway, who started out as distributors for the original MLM Nutrilite, invented by Carl Renborg, Ponzinomics. Nutrilite. They then branched off to start Amway. They then acquired Nutrilite. And from there began the endless cycle that continues today of Amway distributors breaking off to start their own MLM companies and people from those MLM companies breaking off to start their own MLM companies in a true pyramid scheme of pyramid schemes. I can't believe he said it. I thought he was going to say Jesus. Instead, he said the two worst people.
I love the President of the United States for his commitment at 70 years of age when he doesn't have to. I love guys like Red Skelton.
Who the fuck is Red Skeleton? You gotta be making this up. The Red Skull? Do you mean the Red Skull from Captain America, the first Avenger? The villain? Red Skeleton. Who is this? Richard Bernard Skelton. Red Skeleton. Was he a comedian? Radio show. Wow. If you Google Red Skeleton, you know. Yeah, I'm a fan of Red Skeleton, Tony the Tiger, Killer Croc. Great guys, real American guys. Red Skeleton! He talks the same way the Duggars do, that forced soft voice. Yeah. You're trying to deplete the audience of sleep so they become deluded with your words. So true. So true. So creepy.
I've had J. Paul Getty. I've read his book As I See It, and he was just so honest, and he put it on the line, and there's so many great Americans like that you just fall in love with. W. Clement Stone, he just put it on the line. Hilton, when he built the hotels, guys that are sharing with other people that want to come up. But you know, it's...
Yeah, who was the president at this time? Reagan, Nixon?
sad so many people ending up I get accused a lot of times of brainwashing people.
Let's go. If he says sometimes people need to wash their brain, I'm out.
And I say, yes, I like to clean their brains up, because so many people are reading Playboy and they're reading junk when they should be reading the lives of people that have made it. So that
I can't believe it's the same. It's the same no matter how far back you go.
they quit crying about their problems and do something. If we had more people reading J. Paul Getty's books, we'd have less people on welfare.
He talks about how they read Skeleton to his family. So stupid. Jake Paul, he's a Pauler. Yeah. What up, Jake Paulers? Yeah.
People say, well, come on, Amway has become a kind of cult. It's almost a religious cult. People worship Dexter Yager, or they worship Van Andel and DeVos. You're brainwashing people.
There's a big difference between worshiping and loving. Mike, I love you because you're a successful man and you're committed to what you're doing. Whether anybody else does or not, I love you, and I don't have to judge my love on what they do. And some people are going to love me because they want to do what I'm doing. And some people aren't going to love me. And that's just the way it is. I want as many to love me as possible, but I'm not going to win them all. And I'm not a god. I'm not somebody to worship. And I think people like me more because they see my mistakes. You know, a guy that doesn't make many mistakes isn't doing anything. And the more you do, the more mistakes you make. I'm far from perfect. I never will be. And people relate to that a lot easier. I couldn't relate to a perfect man. I'd have to say, yeah, he's one of a kind. I'm not one of a kind. Anybody can do what I'm doing.
Wow.
They just gotta want to.
What a fucking load of shit. How many times did he rehearse that in front of the mirror?
It's not easy. You gotta pay the price. You gotta be committed.
Bertie, is he an easy fella to live with?
He's like, watch your fucking mouth, bitch.
Yes,
I
Mel.
think he is now.
Now that this is being recorded on camera and there are witnesses in the room.
Since I've begun to understand him.
Since I've been completely brainwashed and realized that trying to argue with him was like talking to a fucking brick wall.
I didn't understand how anybody could be a workaholic and love it, because I wasn't that
I couldn't understand how somebody could do what my husband does. Then I realized he's a fucking psychopath.
way. But as I began to open my mind a little bit more and realize what he was like, I began to understand more of him, and now...
Wow. All right. Check this out. We're going to listen to now this video is titled MLM Insanity, Dexter Yager, R-word my family. So, you know, trigger warning for the libs. I joke, but also not really. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out.
I can't afford this decision. But if you do it, I love you. But if you do it, you're no longer welcome here.
This is him when he's older, and Bertie doesn't have as big of hair, head of hair.
I don't let the disloyal come here. If you're going to be a competitor, you have told me you're the materialistic one. I brought you into my family. And now you'd like to come rape my family? I'm not going to let it happen. Remember, you're walking away from all your friends.
He's talking, this is what he's saying to try to guilt people who leave the Amway business. Saying that I brought you into my family and you are R-wording my family by leaving. I saw so many relationships, friendships get destroyed back in 2021 when I was really exposing an MLM whose name I won't say right now. And I would see people who had lost their friend that they were friends with before the company. And one of them left the company, but one of them was still in. And the one who was still in, I saw this several times, the one who was still in would be posting stuff saying, yeah, you know, they say it's wrong that we cut off our friends for leaving the company, but didn't you betray me first by leaving in the first place? So who really is bugging here? So who really is tripping for being disloyal to the other one? It's like, it's insane.
They conned you that well, and I can't convince you otherwise. You don't ever have to say you're sorry. The world will know it.
Wow. This is from one of Dexter's tapes, by the way.
Not sorry in the apology way. You leave, you're just sorry. I think you're more guy than that. I know you're more man than that. Don't prove me wrong. I'm not going to beat him up. I'm going to tear his stupid heart out. You're not going to destroy yourself. I don't let you commit suicide easy. And if you're going to be damned, it's your choice. I love you in your sickness. But when you walk out that door, it's over. History is going to be funny to a lot of people. Some of you want to punch some guy's lights out for all they've hurt you. I've had people that hated me. They hated me so bad. They tried to destroy me in so many ways that I've seen them die.
I didn't even catch that, and then I realized money.
A cancer death. I had one woman in her last 6 months of life come to me and she said, Dexter, I hated you so bad. Only to find out when I was dying, you're the one that kept coming to me with love. I hated the wrong person.
Wow.
But I know I'm dying a death because of my hate.
Wow. Wow, way to gaslight the woman who has cancer, saying she got it. She gave it to herself by hating you, but you continually trying to scam her was just you trying to be loving. It's insane. It's actually heartbreaking. If I didn't laugh, I would cry.
Not your fault, it's mine. I chose not to know you. I chose to destroy you. And I got me by mistake.
Glenn says, my father's upline told him to stop speaking to me. So imagine that. Somebody told their downline, stop talking to their own son because I was negative and that I was trying to steal his dream. Wow. So sorry, Glenn. And Paz says, this makes sense why Scott would say this. He's like, no, Dexter, you did that to me. Wow. Full-blown cult, total psychological warfare. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is this leaked audio of a demon from an exorcism? Basically. How could anyone fail with a device like that? Sounds like a serial killer. Wow.
Well, I prayed and prayed, and Bertie and I prayed for that girl. I've had other people. I'm going to tell you something. Based upon what I've learned from my life, the ones of us that accept Christ and we carry this banner of Amway and we go with it, we're the Christian soldiers marching as to war. We're the anointed. Read the 91st Psalm. You do nothing else. You read the 91st Psalm. You'll understand every one of the guys that got up and gave the part of the story he or she did not want to give.
Wow.
We're the Christian soldiers. We're standing under the 91st Psalm. Read that 91st Psalm. I don't care what type Bible you read it in. Read it. You're God's anointed. You're God's anointed. When you're God's anointed, that 91st Psalm applies to you.
We're the goons marching at the war. Go watch the 95th stream. See when Marco said, Wagwan, thumbs up the ting. We are anointed. See when Marco said, Streamlabs link in the chat, alwaysmarcomerch.com, Ponzinomics affiliate link in the chat, join the Discord, sign up to the Patreon, drop a membership. We are the anointed ones.
People will die on the left and they'll die on the right, and you can walk on a snake's head, and you don't do it on purpose, it just happens. And the lion, something got him.
Oh my God.
I have watched my enemies attack me and lose all they have financially. I've seen neighbors decide to go do me in. We had 2 couples live next to us. They decided they were going to destroy us. They had made everybody that bought that house that we lived in leave. They were the mayor of the street. They'd driven everybody away. 2 years after, they came against us with everything they had. All 4 of them were dead.
Wow.
Dexter Yager passed away on January 6th.
That's absolutely fucking insane, you guys.
On the screen.
Okay, maybe we could wash this down with some Scott Johnson Losing Fortunes radio, right? Right, guys? Dexter Yager was an absolute psychopath. I believe that. And I agree with NPaz's comment. If there's a hell, he's watching cassette tapes for an eternity while being spit roasted. I sure hope so. Why does everything always end up in this QAnon BS? It's a pipeline, baby. All right, here we go. Is this it? Is this the most recent episode? Scott Johnson and 2023 Amway recruit Mike scam story on Building Fortunes Radio. Let's check it. No, this isn't it.
Fuck. Sorry, I don't know if I could swear. One word can just...
This isn't it. We'll go to Blog Talk Radio and see. Building Fortunes. Here we go. Scott Johnson, an ex-Amway rep, tells story Building Fortunes Radio, Peter Mingles, and it's live right now. Let's check it. This is the Bad Dog Show. You can call in if you like. 347-237-4097 right there on the screen. Let's check it out. Pure Christian dominionism. So true. So true.
Professional development or functions or whatever. If I'm my own boss, we'll just use Quickstar or Amway as an example, or my upline, how come they're the ones that are, telling me when I have to go to the meetings? Or how come they're the ones scheduling the functions? If I
Get him, Bad Dog.
How come somebody else is scheduling my appointments? You know what I mean? Like, I should be the one that's deciding when I go to meetings. I should be the one doing that. It should not be an upline to me is like a boss. You have to go to this meeting. You have to go to this. You have to go to that. They're telling you what to do.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Brian Hall. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Billions and billions.
Oh, you donated the exact amount to fill up the dono goal, but the dono goal is only response to Streamlabs. But you know what? I'm gonna count it anyways. I'm gonna edit it so that it says that it's full. Thank you so much, Brian Hall. Appreciate it. You are the go. Okay, let's keep listening.
Have done that over the years as well. They break off from their upline's tool system, and I think a lot of it is because they see how much money is being made, and maybe they ask for more of a cut, or maybe they don't, but at some point they decide, I can make a whole lot more money if I had my own tool scam system, and so they break off like Winters did. Now, I find that the LTD, and we've had several LTD guests on the show over the years, that they're probably one of the more militant groups, and your story reflects that as well, with that really strong...
Did Peter really call me credible in this episode? What the heck?
4 years ago now, Peter. And I think it was LTD. I'm not 100% sure. It could have been worldwide. But she was married to a Native American, right, American Indian. And they had a son that even before they had joined Amway, he had committed suicide. They had 2 young kids. She was disabled. She couldn't have a job because of her disability, and she did not support his business. And he was being told by his upline that they wanted to make him the first Native American diamond. And so then when he told his upline that she didn't want any part of it, they said, well, you need to dump her. You just need to, dump her and just let her, raise the 2 young kids on her own, and she can figure out, maybe live with her parents or something.
What's the point of this
she can't
anecdote?
Hold down a job. I mean, it was brutal what she was told to do, or I should say what he was told to do by the upline. So the story you told is exactly along those same lines as far as they don't care about relationships. They don't care about helping people. They only care about putting money in their pocket. They want to keep you in as long as they can and get as much money out of you as they can before they dump you, because they're always looking for new people too. They're not just counting on you to be their money source forever. They know that they're going to squeeze you dry at some point, and you're going to have to quit probably because you literally can't afford it. But they're always looking for new people to take advantage of as well. That's just the way it operates. It's the nastiest business I've ever come across.
See, Scott,
so
this is my question to you then, because I'd asked you this in the comment section. I don't understand why you're pro-MLM. You seem like you're anti-MLM to me. You're a guy that knows this better than anybody. And you said something to Glenn, which I wanted to touch on, because I thought this was very telling. Because I know, Glenn's story about his dad being an Amway, still an Amway, and he just keeps losing money, and the relationship is strenuous, and it sucks. You said people that are lazy and get out early are better off than the people that work the system, work their ass off. You were in for, 13 years or something like that, 13 or 16 years? And, obviously it hurt you, but wouldn't that speak to the fact that this just goes to show that business model is no good?
Get 'em.
It's set up for 99.7% of people to fail.
Get 'em.
You're a living testament to that. You did everything you were asked to do. You did it for years. You worked your ass off.
Bad dog is a
and
G.
You did nothing but lose money.
So
Right?
why do you think I'm pro-MLM?
No. Oh, I don't know. The way you talk about Marco and the way you say he's misinformed, I thought you were pro-MLM. I just the way you respond to my guy Marco, I didn't know, because when I listen to you talk, or I see your comments and I see your YouTube channel, I'm like, this guy's anti-MLM. So that's why I was like, I don't understand. This is why I wanted to talk to you, because I didn't understand. It was tough for me to tell him. Like, he seems like he gets that this is bullshit, that this whole MLM thing is bullshit. But yeah, it seems like you defend it sometimes, and I was trying to figure out where you stand on the whole matter of the MLM business model.
Yeah, well, like we've talked about actually many times, Peter and I are both anti-MLM if it's done wrong, and we're pro-MLM if it's done right. And we actually define that term. We don't just let it go like that. So if you have a tool scam, that's doing it wrong. And again, what makes it a scam isn't the amount of money being made, it's how it's been made available. That information has been made available.
It's every aspect of it.
Downline. And I don't think you were ever told that your upline was making multiple times more from the tools versus Amway. So that's number one. Number two is the lack of retail sales. And let me just ask you a quick question. For you personally, the year and a half that you were in, what would you say was the amount that you consumed on average per month versus what you sold to customers who were not distributors per month?
Oh God, I bet you it was like 5 to 1. I probably spent $300 a month on most of the energy drinks, the vitamins, because I was also told give them free samples. Give them free samples. That way they can taste it and they'll buy it from me. But nobody was buying it. I was buying it. I was consuming it. I was giving it away, and I was getting nothing in return. And like I said, those vitamins were really overpriced, and they said, the whole product of the product. You gotta, if you don't believe in your own product, how are you going to sell that product to anybody else if you're not buying the product? That's what my Ruby was like. You should be drinking excess, not Pepsi. Maybe I don't want to live on excess energy. Maybe I want a Pepsi now and again. Or maybe I want a Coca-Cola. Or maybe I want a beer. You know what I mean? Maybe I want something different to drink. But it had to be 5 to 1. I bet you I spent $300 and maybe sold 60 worth of stuff. I don't think I ever had a positive month.
How many people did you recruit during that year and a half?
We try to show the plan to. I bet you it was a couple dozen. And when you come out, I was gung ho about it at first. I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing that ever happened. And when I kept getting turned down, and people kept mentioning the damn Amway thing, and I'm like, what the heck? I didn't understand. I never knew Mary Kay was an MLM. I didn't know that. I didn't know Tupperware was an MLM. I didn't know any of this stuff, because again, the internet was kind of prehistoric, and it was tough to find this stuff, and there certainly wasn't as many of them back in 2002 as there are now.
I don't want to interrupt this because it's live, but we're not going to be able to finish all this. I got to end this in 10 minutes because I have a family engagement. So we're going to have to do, on the next stream, we're going to have to react to this full thing because this sounds like it's fire. Also, I'm not holding a Wii nunchuck. It looks just like a Wii nunchuck, but this is a Bluetooth remote that came with my teleprompter that arrived yesterday. So I've just had it here on the table, and I'm fiddling with the buttons and stuff because I'm a child.
So I really didn't know a lot about it. People kept saying this sounds like Amway. And I'm like,
I am a proud dad, Eliza.
And little did I know they were the same company. When I saw that Dateline NBC thing, though, I can tell you this right now. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so glad I didn't go to that. Because like I told you, I'm like, that's creepy.
He's playing Wii Resort to blow off the BFR Steam. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, I have another screen over there, and I'm actually playing on my Wii right now.
It was, it was. But, the other thing is you guys say when it's done right. When is it done right? If 99.7% of people lose money in this, when is it ever done right?
Exactly.
When is it ever done right?
Let me jump in because you just got the question. I'll kind of answer it from my perspective. So I can see where you're coming from when you say, these things are all wrong and stuff like that. That's because that's what you compared it to. I grew up in a different scenario where I actually ran an MLM company. So I owned one. And
how'd that go?
The direct sales company prior to that I was with introduced an MLM compensation plan. So I worked that, and we sold products to people that were not necessarily in the
Scott and Peter will talk to everyone but me. I love it.
So for me, my reality was when it's done right, you sell a product to a retail customer, and people that are retail customers sometimes want to help sell the product as well, so sometimes they become distributors. So you sponsor distributors, and they obviously buy product, and you deserve the commissions because you did the work. You sell retail, and those people hopefully will give you more referrals or just continue to buy customers. So that's when it's done right. So what my
But
thought
that's a
process,
very small scale, right?
No, not at all.
That's the minority. That's not the minority?
That's the minority in Amway. That's not necessarily the minority.
In all of them, though, Peter.
Not really.
That percentage is across the board. The
not really.
Yes, it
is.
is
Across the board.
Get them, bad dog.
Can you tell me an MLM that doesn't have a 99% failure rate? Because, like I said, there's a ton of them out there. Maybe I'm missing one. Because I certainly don't know them all. I'm not going to pretend like I know every MLM out there.
Name one.
First of all, I've been doing this a lot longer than you.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I won't ask a question that I know you haven't researched because you don't have time to research this stuff. Is where do they get these numbers from? 99%.
Disclosure it's their own income.
Exactly, it's their own
disclosure.
Papers.
Okay.
You can find that in any one of them.
Okay, so let's imagine that the income disclosures themselves are somewhat suspect. Where do they get that?
Why would they make them look bad, though? Why would they make themselves look bad?
Exactly. Keep going.
Well, they don't.
A lot of them don't even have a lot of them don't even have income disclosures, so you can't say all of them have 99.7 if a bunch of them don't even have income disclosures.
Okay, well, the ones that have income disclosures, they show that the majority of people would always lose because the people at the bottom are always going to lose, and that's always the overwhelming majority. Yeah, a couple of people get through it. Glenn's lottery thing was a perfect analogy.
Yes.
Somebody can keep buying lottery tickets and eventually hit the lotto, and they get lucky. But the overwhelming majority of people that continue to buy lottery tickets are going to lose. That was a great analogy.
Body bag.
It's not a good analogy. Let me kind of use it as an example. So I'm going to use a bad example. Going to bring you back to your Yankees. You like the Yankees. I like the Mets. So
yeah, they both
I
suck
know
this year,
Peter. They suck all the. Just so you know, I don't even know why I'm a. I don't even. Well, I do know why I'm a Mets fan. Is my best friend's mom was a Mets fan. I grew up a Mets fan. If you say, why are you a Mets fan? I have no fucking idea.
Boring.
I love the Mets because Irene, my friend's mom, was a Mets fan, and that's where I grew up. So ever since I could walk, I was a Mets fan. That's what I was told. So, she used to go to Shea Stadium, and that's why I'm a Mets fan. So I was just teasing about that. But we both understand baseball, okay? So I want you to visualize this in your mind. You're up at the plate, and you're the batter, and you know how to hold a bat. Right? I mean, there might be different styles in holding the bat.
Right.
Now I want you to
like this.
Now I want you to flip it around, and I want you to hold the fat side in your hands, and the part with the knob, if you will, if they still have knobs, up on the top. And you'd say,
Peter knows how to hold a knob.
Right? What would you say?
Right.
You're holding it the wrong way.
Yep.
You're holding it the wrong way. Now, if we had a whole entire baseball league that held the bat the wrong way, maybe they'd be able to figure it out eventually. But the reality is Amway is taught the wrong way. They teach these people those stupid things that you mentioned earlier.
Stupid.
And that's why they have a super high retention rate. So if you walked into a batter and he's holding the bat the wrong way and all of them are doing it the wrong way, you'd say, well, that's the reason why. They're doing it the wrong way. It's obvious. It's so obvious. And when you talk about, well, all you got to do is make sure that you're loyal to the system and you buy your own products and you blah, 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 and you do it the Amway way that they're taught, that's when you can almost guarantee you'll have a 99.9% failure rate because the whole organization is doing it the wrong way. And you'd say, well, how can you survive?
Such a stupid analogy. Dave Vaughn, why was Peter loving on his best friend's mom, not on his brag sheet? Yeah, along with being the editor of the school paper and being on the high school football team and whatever.
Your books, your tapes, your meetings.
Is Peter one of those guys who visited his aunt once a year in Westchester, New York, and is now the fucking New York guy? Yes, he is. He always talks about, I'm a tough New York guy. Fucking nerd.
Coming back to the bat the wrong way doesn't matter. So not every MLM company is like that. A lot of Amway people are like that. Not all, but a lot of Amway people are like that, and that's why they have such a horrible failure rate.
So once again, Scott and Peter confirmed that they think there is a whole league, in Peter's words, of everyone doing it wrong. Everyone is holding the bat upside down. They still can't name one company that's doing it right. So again, the concept of a legitimate MLM is a myth. No matter who you ask, the FTC won't name one. The income disclosures of any company that actually has them published will show that they aren't one of them. Scott and Peter talk about these hypothetical examples of what one would look like or could look like. But once again, as Robert says in Ponzinomics, a legitimate MLM is a mythical thing. It doesn't exist. How could it?
Fortunately, people like Glenn's dad have some other reason for staying. There's some other mental, psychological reason for staying in something that he should obviously quit. So I'll be quiet and I'll let you comment because I didn't want to hog the conversation.
Okay, so, one thing Marco has mentioned, and I think he's right, when you're talking about an MLM product, there's a lot of competition. You have Amazon, you have Target, you have Walmart, and why can't I just get a product like Marco was doing something the other night on yesterday about this coffee MLM guy and talking about how you can get 3 boxes of coffee for like $50. I'm like, I can get 2 gigantic things of Folgers coffee that's going to last me 6 months for $40. I don't like. There's just you can't sell the product. Like that's what's difficult because people are like, why am I going to pay twice as much or 150% more for something that I've never heard of?
Exactly.
As opposed to a brand name product that I could get at Target or that I could just click a button and it can be delivered right to my door.
Exactly.
Like how can somebody feasibly make a living selling multi-level marketing products when you have that type of competition and earn a living? I'm not saying that you can't make like a part-time, like maybe you can find customers that want to buy very few products, but you're never going to be that millionaire guy, or you're never going to do what they say or show you. That stuff's not going to work. You can't feasibly do it because the people that are at that level got it right away, and it's almost impossible in the 99.7%.
Yeah, let me step in. Let me step in real quick, Kevin, because I said before on our show, if I was king for a day, I would outlaw MLM because it is so prone to abuse. However, I don't think I'm ever going to be king for a day, and I think it's a bridge too far
I'll tell you what,
to expect the FTC to actually outlaw MLM. And so what I'm calling for is for the FTC to make it across the board, across the entire industry, a minimum of 50% of the products or services must be sold to customers who are not part of the MLM compensation plan, real customers. And if they don't, they should be labeled as an illegal pyramid and shut down. I believe that if the FTC did that you would see almost all MLMs either go out of business completely,
yes,
or do what AdvoCare did in 2019 when the FTC went after them. They abandoned their MLM compensation plan and went to a direct sales.
I agree.
Direct sales is there's no
You're
upline,
correct.
no downline.
You're correct. And direct sales makes up less than 1% of all retail annually. So now you're saying you're going to put the limitation on MLM. If you were king for a day, you would put the limitation on MLM of having to making sure that 50%, at least 50% of all their revenue is generated from true consummate retail sales. Well, now you're going to see that number go even lower, which is only going to strengthen the point Bad Dog brought up, which is at that point, again, why not just go to Amazon? Why not just go to Walmart? At that point, you're left with a bunch of companies who are doomed to go out of business because they are trying to use an obsolete business model.
Noah Phillips. It's in the first session. You can go to MLMconference.com. It's actually an anti-MLM conference. And what he said was the FTC is supportive of MLMs. So I don't even think you're going to be able to get the FTC to completely 180 change their minds and say, now we're not.
Beyond says if Scott was king for a day, he'd be Gaddafi'd. Yeah, so then it's not an MLM. It's just a sales company. Exactly. Insane. Coffee. All right, I gotta go. But this sucks because I really want to react to this, but we're gonna have to do it on the next stream, or maybe I'll do a bonus stream. I don't know. Maybe the people watching this on replay will hit that Streamlabs link in the chat, demanding for a bonus stream, but Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, whenever. But the next stream, I promise I'm going to react to this full thing. From the sounds of it, Bad Dog, you absolutely killed it. I don't want Scott and Peter to take down this episode. So when this is done, if somebody could download the audio just to be sure, because it sounds like they're getting absolutely bodied. So I don't want them to take it down. I want to be able to react to it. Coffee, yep. Coffee, yep. Cafe. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but I have to end it. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry.
Chocolate chip.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, guys.
We got him.
All right, y'all. You're killing us, Marco. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. It's not the same. Trust me, I'm just as excited to react to this. I'll do a bonus stream, I promise, okay? Pinky swear. Bags, but pinky swear. Tentatively, let's assume people drop the bag, and then I promise. Such a cock block. Blue balls. We want a bonus stream. Stream it in Discord. Yes, I'm sorry, guys, but I have to go. I have this family commitment. So, yeah, even though there's only 26 minutes left in this, but Yes. Miss you guys. Appreciate you. Record it. Yes, thank you, Glenn. Mars with the Peter emoji. Or sticker, I guess, whatever. Sorry, Lily Lucky. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Obama. But I'll be back, okay? Keep them wanting more. Okay, peace.